Hello everyone. How is everyone doing? Yeah, just checking to see. Yeah, just checking to see if everything is working well. Yep. How you all doing? Good night. Let's talk about this new Chinese invention. Sorry, I'm just checking to see. Let's talk about this Chinese new invention. They have developed a robot that will assist with childbirth. Yeah. So the question is, are women no longer needed? Are women no longer needed? That's the question. But before we get right into that, let's watch videos on this. Let's get more informed and also watch how some TikTokers are reacting to this. So this particular video is coming from a very big TikToker, Dylan, and in 2022 he made a video about this, and in 2025 they've already started this process. They said from next year people can now start purchasing those robots. So let's start off with Dylan's video.
This video has shocked the internet, showing the world's first artificial womb facility to be created by the company Ectolife, capable of birthing 30,000 lab-grown babies a year. The only problem is Ectolife is not a real company, and the lead scientist behind this video, Hashim Al-Gaili, is a producer and filmmaker with a background in molecular biology. But what's interesting is that he claims every single feature mentioned in this concept is 100% science-based and has already been achieved by scientists and engineers. For context, some of the features mentioned in this concept video are smartphone connectivity, allowing you to track your baby's development, including physical features and abnormalities, from your phone, internal speakers that allow you to remotely sing to your baby, and CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing tools so you can customize your baby's eye and hair color, skin tone, physical strength, height, and even level of intelligence. He also states that the main thing preventing all of this from becoming a reality is the famous 14-day law, which states that research on human embryos must be destroyed due to ethical concerns after 14 days. But I did some research, and in May last year, this decades-old rule was actually scrapped by the International Body for Stem Cell Research. The question is, do you think this would be a good or bad thing for humanity? This video has shocked the internet, showing the world's first artificial womb facility to be created by the company Ectolife, capable of birthing 30,000 lab-grown babies a year. The only problem is Ectolife is not a real company, and the lead scientist behind this video, Hashim Al-Gaili, is a producer and filmmaker with a background in molecular biology. But what's interesting is that he claims every single feature mentioned in this concept is 100% science-based and has already been achieved by scientists and engineers. For context, some of the features mentioned in this concept video are smartphone connectivity, allowing you to track your baby's development, including physical features and abnormalities, from your phone, internal speakers that allow you to remotely sing to your baby, and CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing tools so you can customize your baby's eye and hair color, skin tone, physical strength, height, and even level of intelligence. He also states that the main thing preventing all of this from becoming a reality is the famous 14-day law, which states that research on human embryos must be destroyed due to ethical concerns.
Okay, that's it. Sorry, I didn't know the video was replaying. Yeah, so that was a video he made in 2022. Currently, we have a different story. Let's watch this particular video.
Are women no longer needed in the world? In China, scientists have reportedly created an android capable of carrying a child from conception to birth, potentially replacing women in childbirth. What this means is that the fetus grows inside an artificial womb with a simulated umbilical cord and amniotic fluid, receiving all the nutrients it needs to survive. And according to reports, the first of these devices are expected to launch in 2026 with a starting price tag of $14,000. Imagine a future without women in childbirth. I mean, if technology can replace the very act of giving birth, what part of humanity will be left untouched? What does the future really hold? Ladies, is this a good invention? Guys, let me hear your thoughts on this. Are women no longer...
Pregnancy robots could give birth to human children in a revolutionary breakthrough. Oh my goodness. I know I say this a lot, but this is actually one of the craziest things I have ever heard in my life. And there is a lot of crazy things happening in the world right now. So, Kaiwa Technology has been working on a robot that will fully be able to give birth to a baby. It will be receiving nutrients through a complex array of tubes and hoses in its abdomen, and this is what they said. The artificial womb technology is already in a mature stage, and now it needs to be implemented in the robot's abdomen so that a real person and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy, allowing the fetus to grow inside. What? Cost of this would be about $14,000, and a human surrogate usually costs around $100,000 to $200,000. In my opinion, this is not the right time to be thinking about saving money. On the other hand of things, surrogacy is illegal in China, and this company is based in China, but they're hoping to work around this. And if this does happen, they'll launch this in 2026, but they do have a lot of challenges to face ahead of them, so we'll see if this actually happens. Pregnancy.
Okay, so China is set to unveil its first ever pregnancy robot with an artificial womb next year in 2026, and it's one of those sides of tech that really get me a bit. You get me? Because here's the thing, okay? I completely understand the concept behind it. There are people, unfortunately cannot give birth by themselves, but now when you're leaving it up to a robot, like it's this side of tech where whenever it has to deal with humans in general doing anything with, I get it, but it's like, I don't know. Personally, morally, like with me, it doesn't feel right because like. No, I'm not gonna say, but guys, I don't know, guys. To me, personally, it just feels iffy. I understand the concept behind it, and I understand it can help certain people, right? But it's like, technology has its. To me, there's like the dark side of things. It could go, you get me? It could go wrong. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think, bro. But hey, I mean, it's cool, sure, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Okay, so China.
Okay, let's talk about it. Is this a welcome development? What do you think? Is this something you're in support of or are you against it? Everything does have pros and cons. And I remember the very first animal that was cloned, that's Dolly the sheep. I think this animal was cloned in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, or the 80s, one of it, I can't really remember. But this sheep is dead. The sheep died in sometime in, let me say, I don't know, sometime maybe in 2015, 16, 14, one of it. The sheep died. That sheep had a lot of complications, Dolly the sheep, because that sheep was cloned in the lab. I wouldn't be surprised if someone tells me that there's a lab somewhere that clones humans. Science always wants to play God. Unfortunately, science can never be God. There's always a problem, a fault with whatever they produce or they're creating. We've heard of test tube babies. We've heard of organs being created in the lab. I really don't know if they really do use those organs. I really can't tell. But having a pregnancy robot, is it good for women or bad for women? Personally, I think this is a good thing for women. At least for once, the world will stop mounting pressure on women when it comes to keeping the population going. The people responsible for this creation are focused on one thing: population, rise in population. Because they are capitalists, they are business owners, they want the workforce, they want to keep building their generational wealth. And for those of them that don't die, I don't know if there's anyone that doesn't die, but you never can tell because this world is deep. And for those of them that believe they can live longer, they want to keep having that money, making that money, having people getting employed, running their businesses for them. So population is very important for them. I keep saying this. I don't see any point in forcing women to increase the population when the people we have are not feeding. People are starving. People are hungry. There is overpopulation. Resources are not going round evenly to everyone because of greed. We have the greedy ones stealing resources. So what's the point bringing more people into this world? Some people would argue and say, "Oh, because we want to keep humanity going." I don't agree with that point because the creator is a is an intelligent creator. When you were created, um you were not consulted. You did not give consent. So what makes you think the creator needs you to keep the population going? Like I said, it's greedy people that want the population going. They are obviously the ones eating most of the money. So when we talk about the women and men dynamics regarding relationship, I think, like I said, it should be a good one for women. But how good will those children be? The quality of the babies produced. What is their life expectancy going to be like? Are they going to be normal humans, or are they going to have their body part falling off at any given point in time? Someone said, I think it's a good development, but just like every other discovery, there are advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, I totally do agree with you, but I don't think it's completely a good development because we have to consider the quality of the babies, and we don't even know how the babies will be formed. I guess it might be two couples wanting to have, or I say two couples, it might be a man and a woman wanting to have a child, and the man brings his sperm, the woman brings her egg. Maybe the woman does not want to carry the child. You can use that robot as an incubator to breed that child, to grow that child. Looking at it from that angle, I think it would help women, especially those women that are afraid of pregnancy. Pregnancy does a lot to a woman's body. Some women don't even survive it. Some women become a shadow of themselves afterwards. Some of them develop organ failure. Some of us develop failure afterwards. Some lose their sight, become paralyzed just because they were pregnant. Pregnancy comes with a lot of complications. It might not apply to everyone, but it is a thing. So for women that are scared, especially women that have got Sheehan syndrome, women that have got what they call this high hypertension. Wait, it has a particular name, high blood pressure, eclampsia. Yeah, women that have got that. It's very dangerous for them to have children. I mean, for them to carry pregnancy. So that can favor women in that way, in that regard. But you should also consider the quality of the child. Even if humans were the ones that produce the child, I mean, when it comes to mating, fusing the eggs and all that, forming a zygote and all that, even if women, I say women, even if humans were the ones that did that, having that baby in the robot's stomach, don't you think that baby might be affected? Yeah, I agree with you. It will reduce maternity, maternal mortality, improve gender equality, reduce healthcare costs. Improve gender equality in what way? Like, gender equality in what way? I'm thinking about it. Men are all about control. I don't think men will completely let go of women with this whole thing. I know men are more focused on keeping the lineage going. They want women to reproduce and all that. But I don't think men will completely let go of women because men are more focused on control, dominance. They must control something, they must control someone. It's either they are controlling themselves or they are controlling women. Women are their easy target. So I don't think men will completely let go of women. This this invention will definitely help same-sex couples. You understand what I'm trying to say? Same-sex couples, it will definitely help them. But when it comes to men not having anything to do with women anymore, I don't think so. I know people speculate and say a lot of men, especially married men, are gay. Yeah, some of them are in the closet, not all of them. But even with that, they wouldn't even want to make it public and they wouldn't want to let go of women. So I don't think it's going to help with, it's going to improve gender equality. It might improve gender equality on the woman's side, or on the women's side, if the women decide to focus on their career. And this is also going to help with that. Women focus on their career, doing their thing, um, chasing their passion, rather than being a homemaker alone because of their children. Yeah, let's watch more video clips.
I don't think you're ready.
Okay, so China is set.
I don't think you're ready for what I'm about to tell you, and I don't think you're ready for the world that is coming at us. I'm reading the news this morning, as I do to start every day, and I come across this story, and I don't even know what to say about it. Which, considering the level of fuckery of the world right now, that's saying something. So this was in the New York Post yesterday. I'm just reading it this morning. It says pregnancy robots could give birth to human children in revolutionary breakthrough, and it's a game changer for infertile couples. The article goes on to say that it would be a game changer for infertile couples because it's only going to be like $14,000 versus like $100,000 or $200,000 for a human surrogate. But this is the paragraph that really just sent me over the edge. The artificial womb technology is already in a mature stage, and now it needs to be implanted in the robot's abdomen so that a real person, aka a man, and the robot can interact to achieve pregnancy.
Ooh.
The world is weird, and men just want to get rid of women. That's really what it just comes down to. I am so glad to be almost halfway through my life, beyond halfway through my life, because this is fucked. I don't think you're ready for what I'm about to tell you, and I don't think you're ready for the world that is coming at us. I'm reading the news this morning, as I do to start every day.
Wait, I just heard something. So they will have to put the woman's egg in the robot, and the man will have to sleep with the robot for the pregnancy to happen. I was thinking they were going to carry the egg and the sperm, put it in the robot, and make the pregnancy happen, the fertilization happen. So that's not the case. Why am I even surprised? They have robots out there that men have intercourse with. So the man will have to sleep with the robot. Interesting. Let's watch more videos.
I don't think you're ready.
Okay, so now they're out here building pregnancy robots. Y'all, when I say these companies are out here trying to play God, I am not joking with you. There's a company called Kawa Technology. It is in Guangzhou, China, and they are building these robots that are set to debut for sale next year. And how much do you think it's going to cost? Between 13 and 14,000 US dollars. That's it. They say it's about 100,000 won, and this is for people who want to avoid the burdens of natural gestation. That's what they said. This is going to replicate natural gestation. It will be made of artificial amniotic fluid, and they will deliver nutrients through a hose. And after 10 months, boom, pop pops out a baby. I'm not saying that, there are not people who are not fertile or not able to naturally have children who don't deserve other avenues, but this is creating what they're calling humanoids. We don't know. We won't know until 10, 20, 30 years after these things are born, these humanoids are born. What will they be like? What will come of it? I am quite literally flustered because there are so many children who are born from, let's say, teen moms or people who are in different circumstances who wish to be adopted. So many kids in the system that could get homes, but instead we're building pregnancy robots. I don't know. It's giving Global Reset. It's giving orphan trains. It's giving Cabbage Patch Kids. It's giving 1800s. I don't know what's going on, but I checked quite a few media outlets and this is happening. Look up KY Technology. Look up in Guangzhou, China. They're building robots that are due to debut next year, and within 10 months time, boop, it'll pop out a baby. Let me know what you think about this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, save this video, go look into it, come back, share your thoughts. Per usual, this is all alleged, can't confirm or deny the facts, but I definitely want you to go ahead and research it because it's definitely interesting. Like, follow, stay for some more. Okay, so now they're...
Okay, let me take comments. This one says it will reduce maternal mortality, improve gender equality. I think I read that already. Gender equality could reduce career interruptions related to pregnancy and childbirth. Yeah, I do agree with you on that. I think it's going to give women room to focus on themselves more. That is for those women that know exactly what they want, not those women that feel like having children is an achievement. For some women, nothing's really going to change. And I tell you, this it's not like they're going to create this robot and they will start sharing it and distributing it to people for free. No, they said one robot is going to cost $14,000. So tell me, how many people out there do you know that has $14,000 to spend on robots? And I think this is just going to be for a selected few, those people that have the money to spend. So I don't think it might really solve a lot of problem. It might in a way, and this is how I think it might solve the problem. These people might be in the lab creating humans, selling babies just to increase the population. So that way it might solve the problem. But an individual going for it, buying it, purchasing it, might be a struggle because not everyone can afford it. The comment says there are also technical failures, mechanical or power failures could be catastrophic. Immune system development, unclear how artificial environments can affect it. Yeah, that's it. Because this is, you need, like she said, you need more years to figure out the effect of this, what will I call it? Should I development? Honestly, you really cannot tell right now because it's too early to decipher. So you need to give it time for for scientists, people that created it, to start finding out fault, to start seeing where things are going off, things are going wrong. Because right now it's difficult, and I don't think that baby is going to be okay. I don't think the baby is going to be okay. I know they do incubate premature babies. They do incubate babies. Someone might say, isn't it the same thing? It would sounded like almost the same thing if the man didn't have to sleep with the woman. See, there's something that a woman's body does to the baby. You need to build connection. There's a lot. So you cannot equate that to a robot. Let's watch more videos.
Okay, so now they're...
Chinese biomedical company KY Technology is in its late stage of developing pregnancy robots. Well, artificial womb technology, that is. Truly, it's just an alternative to carrying a child or having a surrogate. I've covered artificial womb technology multiple times since 2022. And of course, it's understandable. Women go through a drastic change in their body and mind while carrying a child. But additionally, there's an exchange between the mother and child that's usually appropriate and necessary for the relationship they'll have through life. So this begs a few questions, but this has been technology that's been in development for decades. The reason it is notable now is that the intention is to have its debut be in 2026, next year, and it would be relatively affordable, almost as affordable as going to the hospital to deliver a child in the United States. The average cost of delivering a child in the United States being around $20,000, and having an artificial womb carry the baby for $14,000. Chinese biomedical company Kiawa Technology is in its late stage of developing pregnancy robots. Well, artificial womb technology, that is. Truly, it's just an alternative to carrying a child or having a surrogate. I've covered artificial womb technology multiple times since 2022, and of course, it's understandable. Women go through a drastic change in their body
slightly
and mind
terrifying.
while
And maybe
carrying
it's
a
something we
child.
should have thought about a little bit longer before just doing.
That's crazy. So this robot is set to
Maybe
launch
I'm overreacting.
in
This is slightly terrifying, and maybe it's something we should have thought about a little bit longer before just doing. Japanese scientists have spent the last several years developing the world's first artificial womb outside of the human body, and it's done, apparently. Which is insane because it sounds like something out of the upcoming final season of Stranger Things, but this is real life. Here we are. They call this EVE therapy, or ex vivo uterine environment, the EVE system, which isn't totally dystopian at all. It actually was designed for really altruistic purposes for the most part, replicating a human womb for babies that are born extremely prematurely or are extremely sick and need more time to develop, which is not a bad thing whatsoever. And they specify that this technology currently is primarily aimed at supporting premature infants rather than enabling full-term gestation outside of the human body. Basically, if you are born way too soon and you need a lot more time to develop to be healthy and strong, they'd stick you right back in an artificial womb after you were born. But I can abso-freaking-lutely guarantee you it will never stay at just this altruistic, wonderful purpose. And it should be wildly concerning to anyone remotely interested in human rights. We have developed technology that could aid in completely unfettered human trafficking, like creating unlimited human beings that no one even knows exist in a laboratory for the purposes of abuse, practicing mass eugenics all over the world by examining how a baby is growing in the womb, and if it's not up to satisfactory performance or perfect baseline health, then we could just prematurely pull the plug, and continuing to remove women from the procreative process entirely, which is exactly what we've seen the foundation being laid for, with everyone labeling women as birthing people and saying it's not just women who give birth, apparently. This is a prime example of complicated bioethics where we at least owe it to humanity to ask ourselves, just because we can, should we? But what do you think? Because maybe I'm overreacting. This is slightly terrifying, and maybe it's something we should have thought about a little bit longer before just doing. Japanese scientists have spent the last several years developing the world's first artificial womb outside of the human body.
Telling us that we are literally at the end of times, but
China is set to launch the world's first pregnancy robot using an artificial womb. That's crazy. So this robot is set to launch in 2026. It's going to fetch around $100,000. Now take a look at this. The purpose for making this is, you know, if people don't want to go through the actual 9 months of carrying the baby, your body's changing, you can go for this option here. They're basically making cyborgs at this point, you know what I mean? This ain't even humans, these are cyborgs. It's crazy what's going on. Imagine a robot that can do the same thing as a woman, as a lady, sorry. Carry the baby, produce it, you know what I mean, release it. That's mad. The end of times are here, my people. You know, we're living in a mad time right now, you feel me? This technology is getting out of hand. You got AI, and now you've got pregnancy robots with artificial wombs. Nah, man, I'm not feeling this, you know. I don't know about this. Man said they're making cyborgs out here. China is set to launch the world's first pregnancy robot using an artificial womb. That's...
there are so many signs that's really telling us that we are literally at the end of times, but this is how you really know. It is the advancement of technology. So now they're saying that in China, scientists have created an android capable of carrying a child from conception to birth instead of a woman. So they're saying that the fetus will develop in an artificial womb. And once it develops in an artificial womb, it will be stimulated with an umbilical cord, and amniotic fluid, and it's saying that it will be receiving all the necessary nutrients that it will need. The first of these devices are expected to be released in 2026. This is how you know we're at the end of times. And priced at 14,000. I'm going to pin one of my prophetic videos that I did. It was a prophetic dream, and at the time of the dream, there was no recollection. There was nothing that was people was talking about concerning buying robots and going to the store buying robots. This is back in 2023, I believe. I dreamt the dream that I was going into the store and picking out and buying a robot. My sister that I was with in the dream. Now I'm gonna post that on I'm gonna pin it at the top, and the reason why is because that dream happened way before I knew there was any real conversation concerning robots being bought in stores. So this threw me. Folks is marrying AI bots. I had no recollection, no knowledge. Did y'all know that people is actually getting married to these AI bots? But
Yeah,
not only
she's
that,
right.
you have
People are
robots
getting
soon to be able to carry babies. And of
Yeah, she's right. People are getting married to AI robots. Did I say AI robots? Yeah, the robots, even the chat GPT, people are getting married to it. People are taking their relationship with it seriously. Some people are seeing chat GPT as a girlfriend, as their boyfriend. It's crazy. It just says exactly what the problem is in this world. A lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are lonely. So creating more humans is not going to solve the problem. That's why I think we all know what the problem is. And I believe the leaders know how to solve the problem. But because of selfishness, they'd rather do what will put more money in their pocket. And they will BS every other person because they truly don't care. Let's keep watching. This person is seeing it from the spiritual aspect. You know, the Christians are always quick to talk about end time. The Bible says in Revelation, end time, the prophets are prophesying and all that. I don't know. Let's hear what she has to say. Let's hear more.
course, you have to understand the deception around it. Of course, it sounds like a great thing because there are women who cannot bear children. And I sympathize with those women. I get it. But we must understand that when we see, just like in the days of Noah, when they begin to go against the natural order of God, that is when all hell broke loose. In the days of Noah, the reason why judgment came is because there was such corruption of God's creation. And humanity has become, it had become completely wicked as what we see today. We see the wickedness. We are experiencing wickedness on such a high level. Interesting about the Bible, it speaks to all of the
I think I'm going to hold it there. The focus of this video is not about the Bible. It's not about talking about what the Bible said, but it's more focused on the robot that will start giving birth next year. So let me read some comments. This person says this could change family structures. It could fundamentally alter concepts of motherhood and family. Changing family structures in what way? I think this development will encourage people to be single more, women to be single more, women to be themselves, women to live for themselves, rather than succumbing to the society pressure, doing what they don't want to do because of the society, what they don't want to do in terms of being married. A lot of marriages are breaking up because people are not compatible, because a lot of people settled due to pressure. Everyone must not get married. And the reason why they've been selling us the whole marriage talk is because they want they want to keep the population going. They want people to mate, to be together, get pregnant, and have children. And they've seen that people are waking up and getting wiser. So to them, they've thought about it. Maybe in the nearest future, they might never achieve what they want to achieve in terms of keeping the population going. So the best bet is for them to go out there and create something that does not need another human to function. I know, of course, it does need a human's sperm and a human's egg, a woman's egg. People get that. People donate their eggs. People, they have sperm bank and all that, so they can easily go to to a sperm bank, get from there, and do what they want to do, rather than expecting a woman to carry the pregnancy. That's a lot. So I get you when you said this could change family structures. So it means people can be people can decide to be single and still have babies without going through the whole pregnancy journey. Some women cannot handle pregnancy alone. That's why some women would rather be pregnant when they're married than be pregnant as a single woman. So if they know that they're not the ones carrying the baby, it will make it easier for them to consider having a baby as a single woman. Many women out there are only interested in having a child with a man because a lot of men out there are badly behaved. So women would have this in their mind, get married, and if the man happens to be a good man along the line, they might decide to stay. But if he's not what they thought he was in the beginning, they will just enjoy it, and after having their baby, they're out.
Robots are replacing human pregnancy. What the hell is going on? Elon Musk thinks it could be the future. I really want to know your thoughts in the comments. Elon Musk's latest project is a robot designed to carry human pregnancies. And while it sounds futuristic, it raises serious concerns about health, ethics, and the future of human connection. Seriously, pregnancy is not just about carrying a child. It's a complex process that impacts health, development, and bonding. Introducing robots into this equation could change everything about family dynamics and human development. So why on earth are we even exploring this path? Elon argues that it's about supporting families and tackling birth rate declines, but are we losing something critical by replacing nature with tech? Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Robots are
Y'all really gotta stop doing stuff that God only intended God to do. I don't understand why China just created a robot that can carry a baby full term. Don't support it. Don't think it's a great idea. You are not God. Like, y'all really gotta stop doing stuff that God only intended God to do. I don't understand why China just created a
Pregnant robots will be on the market in few months. A Chinese firm in Guangzhou, China has promised the first prototype humanoid pregnancy robot for 2026. It uses a technology called Kaiwa technology and will cost around only $14,000. But who do we need to thank? Professor Zhang Difeng teaches in Singapore. He says Kaiwa technology is option for individuals facing infertility, and it is building on an existing artificial womb that they used in 2017. They placed a baby lamp fetus into a bio bag, just like the ones they are doing now, and the result? A premature baby lamp. The technology's setup is quite simple. A tube is connected to the baby, and the robot provides right environment through amniotic fluid. Umbilical cord helps the passing of the nutrients and oxygen, as well as proteins and fatty acids needed for the baby to grow and mature. It may sound morally wrong, but the program is unstoppable. Pregnant robots will be on the market in few months. A Chinese firm
Have y'all seen in the news about the robot, the humanoid, that China is working on that will be able to carry and birth a baby? Yeah. It has a uterus. It is a robot, a humanoid, but it will be capable of carrying, nurturing, and birthing somehow. I'm sure through surgery, a baby, a real live human baby. I don't know about y'all, but this is wrong on so many levels to me. Number one, God created woman with the necessary parts to carry and nurture a baby. Not just to carry it, but there's a connection. There is a communication. When a baby's in the womb, the mother develops a relationship already with that baby. It's connected not only by the umbilical cord, but just emotionally. And I have read a while back where that a mother, even after she births a child, a few cells from that baby literally remain in the body of the mother for the rest of her life. So she carries a part of that baby with her the rest of her life. And to think that they are planning on birthing a baby with a robot is just beyond belief to me. Where will be the human connection? What kind of baby will that be? I mean, it's not just a matter of birthing a baby into this world. There's so much more than that. It just goes so much deeper. What are y'all's thoughts on this? It's very distressing to me. I mean, what are we doing to ourselves? We are literally going to destroy the human race with artificial intelligence used the wrong way and with things like this. It's just beyond belief to me. Give me your thoughts on this, okay?
I get her point, yeah? I do get her point, but some people might argue and say we have surrogates. If a woman decides to use the service of a surrogate to bet her baby, does that mean that she's not going to bond with her child afterwards? Obviously, she's not the one carrying the baby, but the baby is hers, it's her egg. Does it mean that she's not going to bond with the child afterwards? Does she necessarily need to have the child's cell, part of the child's cell in her body, for her to be a good mom, for her to feel good, for the child to be truly her child? This could be a point for argument. Let's keep watching.
So now China has created an android that can carry a baby from conception to birth. So are they trying to show women that they're not needed? Because we had the Christian nationalists saying that we're not needed in society other than to make babies and take care of a household. And then they're turning around and making robots and AIs that can create and carry a baby. So like, it's like if we're not needed in society and we're not needed to actually, carry a baby, are you guys just saying that we're mates? Like, I'm confused. Like, why does it seem like they're trying to make women be obsolete? And I don't want to think that, because it's like, I get this would be for people who maybe can't conceive, right? Although I think it would be super weird, right? Because, first of all, that bonding time, hearing mom's voice, moving in the belly, hearing her heartbeat, all that stuff, I feel like that's a part of bonding. I think the kids would be super weird to be born from a robot. But then it's like, what is for? What was the point? What y'all think, ladies? Because I'm just... I just feel like, okay, if that's the case, make sure y'all just leave me alone, okay? I just barely want to be bothered anyway.
I don't think women can ever be irrelevant in the society, because They did not say the robots will produce the egg. So we still need women to produce the egg. And I know men might now argue and say, oh, men and women are equal when it comes to creation, because women are always quick to say, we bring life, we create life. All we need from a man is a man's sperm. But we know that a woman cannot create life without a man's sperm. But a mother owns a child more than the man does because she carries the child in her womb after fertilization. So, if we look at it from the aspect of gender equality, gender war, men and women are going to be on the same level. If a man is submitting his sperm and a woman is submitting her egg and the robot is carrying the baby, it means men and women are on the same level. And I think if that becomes a thing, it's going to give women breathing space. Like I said, men will never let go of women. Women want to break free from men, but men will never let go of women because it seems like women were conquered sometime in the past by men. And men want to continuously dominate women and rule women and have authority over women. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but they can never do that. That's what I'm saying, because you still need a woman's egg for that fertilization to happen. You still need a woman's egg. So I don't think it's going to happen. And then what happens after they give birth to the child? Are they going to have the same robot take care of the baby, or will they produce another robot to be there for the baby? Maybe they have to take care of the baby till the baby turns 5. Because when it comes to taking care of a baby, men expect women to do that, but it's not supposed to be. Anyone can take care of a baby. I always say this. Let's say the woman that bettered the child passed during pregnancy. Does that mean the baby also needs to die? No. Someone is definitely going to take care of the baby. A father can take care of a baby, a grandfather, a brother, an uncle. Anyone can take care of a baby. So this proves the point we're saying that anyone can take care of the baby. So if they think they want to make women irrelevant, we can never be, because they did not create us. They did not create us. They are not our creators. Let's watch more videos.
This may be
So
This may be the most controversial role a robot will ever play in a human's life. And women, this could define your role in society forever. China just unveiled a $20,000 pregnancy robot. It can carry a baby for 10 months with artificial amniotic fluid and AI monitoring every detail. This doesn't just change pregnancy, it changes what it is to be a woman. No more career sacrifices for childbirth, no toll on your body, no postpartum depression. But what about the mother-child bond? Babies recognize their mother's voices within 18 weeks. Their heart rate shifts when she speaks. They absorb language patterns in the womb. They even sync with their mother's emotions and stress. So, is the trade-off worth it? A 9-month pregnancy or 9 months of freedom with the same end result, a baby? Because if childbirth is outsourced to machines, how will the future redefine women's place in humanity? This may be the most controversial role a robot will ever play in a human's life.
What this man said just explains how a lot of men think. They believe that women were just created to reproduce, for reproduction. When they hear women, when they think women, all that comes to mind is getting pregnant and having children. Of course, a woman wasn't the one that created this robot, but I think this robot is going to enhance women's lives. But whoever that is choosing to use this robot should consider the repercussion. Think about the long term effect. Because no one really knows if the no one really knows the quality of the baby that robot is going to produce at the end of the day. Let's watch this last video.
It's 2025. We don't got flying cars. We got robots that can make babies. What the? Like, it don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. I'm literally today years old. Me finding out that China is developing, like right now, in the process of making a robot that can make a baby. Out of all the things that you want solved in the world, is that one of them? I'm talking to the audience members here right now. Is that one of them? I'm pretty sure it's not. Not saying that they can't make technological advances, but who needs that? What's the purpose? You tell me what's the purpose. You straight up tell me what's the purpose. How many people are for the purpose? Like, I just don't see it reasonable. I'm sorry. No, sorry. Oh, we're pro-life, pro-life. It's a robot! How can you be pro-life for a robot? It's 2025. We don't got flying cars. We got robots that can make babies. What the? Like, it don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. I'm literally today years old. Me finding out that China is creating,
Okay. We've all heard what you have to say. Some people, I don't think anyone is for this, except for Elon Musk and his group of friends and the capitalists. I think they're the ones supporting this. Maybe some women. I wouldn't mind trying this out if I'm 100% sure that we're going to have a good quality baby. Baby that is not going to have defective organs and body part and all that. But we really cannot tell. We don't know. It's hard to tell. Until then, I'm not part of this. I'm not in support. And then saying what becomes of women. Please, women were not created just to reproduce. There is more to do in life as a woman than being just a mom. There is more to do in life as a woman than being just a mom. So please, men that think that way, I don't think that's a good way to think. That's not a good way to see women. Yeah, but you know, science will never stop playing God. Science is always ready to prove a point. Yeah. I really cannot tell if this is born out of animosity against women. I think they are doing this because they want to keep the population going. It's for their own selfish gain. It's greed. They want the population to rise so they can have more workers, more people in the workforce. Yeah, this is all it is tonight. Thank you so much for joining this live stream, and I hope to see you all next time. Good night.